Have you ever wondered if you could keep hermit crabs as pets? You've probably seen them in tide pools or maybe even have a small collection yourself. These unique crustaceans make pretty interesting pets. But can they live in a tank? Let's find out. Hi and welcome to our channel. It's time to answer another burning question of the 21st century. Can hermit crabs live in a tank? The short answer is yes, they can live in a tank. This is because they can absorb water through their gills, meaning that they can't just hold on to it like most other animals. In the wild, they get this water from, you guessed it, the ocean. In the wild, they're omnivores, eating just about anything they come across. In their tank, they'll need a varied diet consisting of high-protein foods, such as fish, flakes, along with vegetables and fruits. Frozen foods are also a great way to supplement their diet. Just make sure to properly thaw the food before feeding it to them. Remember, hermit crabs need a lot of different nutrients in order to thrive, so try to feed them a variety of foods. But in their tank, they'll need you to provide it for them. Hopefully this video will help you create the perfect environment for your hermit crabs to live in. Do you have any experience keeping hermit crabs? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. A simple solution is to place a shallow dish of water in the tank. Just make sure it's not so deep that the crabs can drown while trying to get to it. Placing rocks or driftwood around the dish will help prevent any crab drownings. Another good idea is to put the water dish under a heat lamp. Hermit crabs prefer warmer water, and the added heat will encourage them to drink more. Most species tend to stay within the tide pool areas, since they need the water to survive. In the wild, they soak up the rays of the sun, and in their tank, they'll need you to replicate that. A heat lamp with a UVB light is best, but any heat source will do as long as it's on a timer. This will give them a full 12 hours of daylight, which will keep them active and healthy. But watch out for overheating. If you aren't careful, hermit crabs can easily overheat and die. Make sure there are plenty of places for them to hide from the heat, such as under rocks or in the fake burrows we talked about earlier. These burrows allow them to hide from predators and are especially useful during low tide when they are more exposed to the air. Hermit crabs also use these burrows to store food and regulate their temperature. Sometimes you'll even find multiple hermit crabs sharing a burrow. But building a burrow in a tank isn't exactly an option. Instead, you'll need to provide them with a fake burrow that they can call home. Something as simple as a coconut with a hole chewed in it will work. Just make sure there's enough room for all of your hermit crabs. This is why you'll most likely come across them when looking out over the ocean. Because of this, hermit crabs are highly dependent on the environment. For example, most species need both land and water in order to survive. And since their natural habitat is constantly changing with the tides, it's important that their tank mimics these conditions as closely as possible. Many people successfully keep dwarf hermit crabs as pets. However, it's not quite as easy as just throwing a few crabs into a tank and letting them roam around. They need the proper environment and setup to be able to thrive. So let's see what you'll need to do to make sure your hermit crabs are happy and healthy. Hermit crabs are most commonly found along the tropical coastlines of the Atlantic Ocean, ranging from North Carolina all the way down to Brazil, and even in the Caribbean. In the wild, hermit crabs typically live in holes on the ground that they make by burrowing. Another thing to keep in mind is that hermit crabs must always have access to fresh, clean water. Speaking of heat lamps, hermit crabs need a heat source in their tank in order to regulate their body temperature. Finally, hermit crabs need a nutritious diet in order to stay strong and healthy. Keeping hermit crabs as pets is a fun experience for both kids and adults, but they need special care in order to stay happy and healthy.